Coming up next, it is our main event of the evening between Demetrious, Mighty Mouse Johnson, and Henry, the Messenger Cejudo. Henry Cejudo making his way to the Octagon and wanting to leave with the UFC Flyweight Championship belt around his waist.
As he makes his way towards this cage, he believes this is his time. He believes he is destined to take this title. His preparation for this bout has gone absolutely according to plan. He's in fantastic shape with a great game plan, and he expects to walk out of this cage tonight as the new champion.
Henry Cejudo enters the Octagon, and he's ready to fight. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, set to enter the Octagon to defend his title.
The champion is in focus. He is in his prime. He's making his way towards the cage. His training for this camp has been absolutely spectacular. He believes he has a solid game plan, and his mentality coming into this fight is clear and focused.
Demetrious Johnson looking to defend his UFC Flyweight title. Our tale of the tape for this Flyweight Championship fight. Both of our fighters are 29. Cejudo is 1 inch taller. The reach is identical. And with the official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Dan Mergliata. This is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Flyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mark with Accelerate Games, and I am back with a mirror match simulation for UFC 197, Demetrious Johnson versus Henry Cejudo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've been trying. And it was a very good match, well, for Demetrious Johnson. If you haven't already seen it, spoiler alert, I give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Demetrious Johnson ran through Henry in roughly about 3 minutes, and in the simulation I simulated it as much as I could, almost exactly the same way. Henry did get a takedown, however it was Demetrious got right back up. He nullified his wrestling. He played a really good clinch game, and he really worked the body shots from clinch. He worked them tirelessly from the moment the first clinch, and he realized that Henry was not intelligently defending the knees to the body. He kept working it, and pretty much he ran him across the cage, worked it again. Henry tried to get out of it. He ran back or tried to avoid the clinch, but by then the damage was already done. And he pretty much just ragdolled him. And it's kind of frightening to think that Henry is a Olympic wrestler. You would think you would have a better chance in the clinch because that's a grappling position, but you know, the clinch is utilized by many different martial arts, many different sports for different reasons. You know, obviously Muay Thai, they use the clinch to get their knees, their elbows, etc. So the way Henry was utilizing it wasn't the most efficient way for a wrestler to utilize it. They should use it to smother their opponent. and not give them space to get these, you know, powerful strikes off, and he wasn't doing that. And in the fight, you'll probably see replays online, you know, he allowed space between in the clinch between him and Demetrious, which allowed, gave pockets, I guess, pocket of windows for Demetrious to actually utilize his knees. And once you realize that, you know, there's a kink in how Henry was using it, he kept going for those knees, and but, you know, within 3 minutes you could tell that there was gonna be something wrong with that side, because you could actually see what swelling too. It was red after you looked in the replay and everything else, and it was, I mean, besides, you know, the one takedown that Henry got, he didn't really do much else. Yes, he was throwing some strikes, but he looked really passive compared to what I expected from a, you know, from a wrestler. I mean, wrestlers are known to be aggressive, known to push the pace, but in this, it seemed like, I don't know if he was timid. I know he's had problems with cutting weights in the past, and it's always been an issue with him. A lot of people have been saying that he should just move up to bantamweight, because the cut to 125 is just literally draining everything from him. And that could generally be the case, because if you look at like a similar example, Anthony Rumble Johnson, the guy at 205 who's knocking everybody out, he fought at 170, which is ridiculous. I cannot imagine him weighing 170. The guy looks like a friggin' truck, you know, on wheels, or whatever you want to call it. And it's hard to imagine. He fought at 170 and lost to Josh Koscheck. Now, Josh Koscheck is not the greatest 170 welterweight. I mean, he's a good fighter, but he's no GSP. And Josh Koscheck, in terms of how, you know, his accomplishment, he has not accomplished nowhere near as much as Jon Jones. But yet Anthony Johnson, you know, moved out, bulked out, really fought. He's fighting his natural weight, I believe. And a lot of people think he could actually beat Jon Jones. So there you go, where the weight made such a big difference. He was draining himself, cutting almost 50 pounds to make 170. And he lost to Josh Hitt. Really easy too, I might add. Didn't really have much power in his hand, but then he moves up to 205 and he starts knocking people out. So that just really serves as an inspiration, saying, you know, indicating that sometimes cutting too much could be a bad thing and can end up making you lose the fight overall. Either way, Demetrious Johnson really rocked the house. You know, I don't know where who could really put for him to fight against, because at this point it's pointless. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, overall, I think he did an excellent job. As for Henry, he might have to reevaluate, because he got beat so bad that the prospect of him even fighting for the title again is so far in the future. So he probably stands a better chance moving to 135 and going against Dominick Cruz. Which, I don't know if he'll fare better, because Dominick Cruz did beat Demetrious Johnson. So, again, he's going to have to do some thinking, maybe strategize, maybe even need to branch out and learn some new techniques, or some new, add some new skill set to his I guess, utility kit. Because, you know, he really just have to reevaluate right now at this moment. So, either way, thank you guys for watching this mirror match series, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, or subscribe, and thank you.